Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to talk about one of my greatest life lessons that I've ever learned, albeit one of the most difficult. And I want to talk about when my dad passed away. And it was 2009. I had just gone to sleep to get up for work the following day. And my oldest daughter, one of my daughters, I'm sorry, came into my room and said that my sister was there with my niece and she had to talk to me. And I said, okay. So I got up after just being asleep for 2 hours and go in the living room, and my sister informed me my dad was gone. I said, where did he go? No. And she said, no, he's gone. And I was in shock. He was in California at the time, and we had to have him flown back to Wisconsin, and it was a kerfuffle, to say the least. And had the funeral, went through all of that, and a couple of months after he passed, I had a dream, and I said, Dad, why did you leave me? And he said, I had to go. And the dream ended, and my whole day following was wrecked, and I didn't understand. And it took a couple of years, and I realized he had to go so I could become the person I was meant to become. And I think it helped me to understand sometimes people part ways. And I'll admit, I was kind of reliant on my dad. He was my person, my cheerleader, my confidant. He was the person I went to when I struggled with anything regarding my mom, and this and that. And at that time, my kids were still in my life. So my kids actually were with me at my father's funeral. We all sat together, and it was of great comfort. But when my children decided to part ways, what happened after that was I decided to spin a cocoon. I allowed myself to go through the process of metamorphosis, and then I eventually emerged as a butterfly. When it comes to estrangement, I could have remained stuck, and I could have cried, and I could have begged and pled, and don't get me wrong, I did for a while. But I realize all relationships will come to an end. I am currently married, and I love my husband. He's my very best friend. Yet one day one of us is gonna go first. And granted, we are both Christians, so I know we are gonna end up in the same place someday, and we will reconnect in the afterlife. But during this time, if he goes first, I have to learn how to get back up and move on. And he will have to do the same if I go prior. So what are you going to do when someone parts ways, or what is your plan if your children have parted ways? Well, it's the same thing as a passing. You have to get up and keep going. Well, you don't have to do anything. But even if your children are gone, what is your other choice? I mean, you could sit and wallow and say, woe is me, and today's my worst day ever, and you can say that for the next 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Or you can decide to spin that cocoon. What are you going to do? And you can say, I know, but no, I don't want to hear that. You can say it, but I'm not going to listen to you. Just like I tell my friends who are in unhealthy relationships, and I'm not even talking 18, 25, 30, 40, sometimes 50-year-olds. I'll say, you know what, you've told me about this 1,000,001 times, and so you have a choice. You could stay or go. If you stay, I don't want to hear about it anymore. But if you go, let me know. Here's my hand, and we'll walk together. We'll figure out what kind of paperwork you need to file and what you need to fight for, because that's it. So what are you going to do? Your kids are gone. I know. But are you going to climb into that cocoon, or are you going to stay crawling on the ground and maybe eventually get squashed. Who knows? I'm just wondering. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.